the pessimism of barely more than a decade of backbreaking labor. Realism won. What he said was not, "I want a magic flying carpet and a purse full of gold rubles," or "I want to be Prince Mikhail in his royal palace," but, "Can you feed my family?" "Yes. Entertain us, and we will feed your family." Rudy racked his brains, having no idea how to go about this exotic task. Then he blinked. It was obvious. He held the phone to his mouth and whispered, "Do you want me to tell you a story?" By the end of that day, when the manna had begun to fall from orbit and men's dreams were coming to life like strange vines blooming after rain in the desert, Rudy and his family, sick mother, drunken uncle, and 7 siblings, were no longer part of the political economy of the new republic. War had been declared. Deep in the outer reaches of the star system, the festival's constructor fleet created structure out of dead mass. The festival fleet traveled light, packed down into migratory star wisps that disdained the scurrying FTL of merely human clades. When it arrived, fusion pods burned bright as insectal A-life spawned furiously in the frigid depths of the outer system. Once the habitats were complete and moved into orbit around the destination planet, the festival travelers would emerge from estivation, ready to trade and listen. Rochard's world was a backwater colony of the New Republic, itself not exactly the most forward-looking of post-diaspora human civilizations. With a limited industrial base to attract trade, limited by statute as well as by ability, few eyes scanned the heavens for the telltale signatures of visiting ships. Only the spaceport, balanced in ground-synchronous orbit, kept a watch, and that was focused on the inner system ecliptic. The festival fleet had dismantled a gas giant moon and 3 comets, begun work on a second moon, and was preparing to rain telephones from orbit before the Imperial Traffic Control Bureau noticed that anything was amiss. Moreover, there was considerable confusion at first. The New Republic was, if not part of the core worlds, not far out of it, whereas the festival's origin lay far outside the light cone of the New Republic's origin, more than 1,000 light-years from old anarchist Earth. Although they shared a common ancestry, the New Republic and the festival had diverged for so many centuries that everything, from their communications protocols to their political economies by way of their genome, was different. So it was that the festival orbiters noticed and ignored the slow, monochromatic witterings of Imperial traffic control. More inexplicably, it did not occur to anybody in the ducal palace to actually pick up one of the half-melted telephones littering their countryside and ask, "Who are you and what do you want?" But perhaps this was not so surprising, because by mid-afternoon, Novi Petrograd was in a state of barely controlled civil insurrection. Borja Rubinstein, the radical journalist, democratic agitator, and sometime political prisoner living in internal exile on the outskirts of the city, forbidden to return to the father planet, to say nothing of his mistress and sons, for at least another decade, prodded at the silvery artifact on his desk with a finger stained black from the leaky barrel of his pen. "You say these have been falling everywhere?" he stated ominously, quietly. Marcus Wolfe nodded. "All over town. Misha wired me from the back country to say it's happening there too. The Duke's men are out in force with brooms and sacks picking them up, but there are too many for them. Other things, too." Other things. It wasn't phrased as a question, but Borja's raised eyebrow made his meaning clear. "Things falling from the skies, and not the usual rain of frogs." Oleg Timoshevsky bounced up and down excitedly, nearly upsetting one of the typecases that sat on the kitchen table beside him, part of the unlicensed printing press that Rubinstein has established on peril of another decade's internal exile. "The things, like a telephone, I think. At least they talk back."